welcome to block 12.
Yep, the last block that we do in the club. So congratulations, well done for getting this far.
Yeah. So this one is called Twister. A lot of fun designing this one. Looks very complicated. It's actually just a 2-row repeat pattern. The stitch itself is composed of 2 parts. You do one part first and then of course you do the second part. So basically you make the bottom and then you do the top and then you move on to the next bit. So it's really not as difficult as you might think. It reminds you of a few skills that you've done before. You make a puff stitch, you do a foundation row, you do a cluster pretty much. Yeah. So you've done a cluster stitch before. I'll call it a triangle stitch here because you started a little bit differently. So you do a treble almost. You do a treble at the end of your row. So yeah, so it's quite nice.
And just working through the back loop.
Yeah, and we work through the back of the loop.
All the way through.
All the way through.
After the foundation row?
Yeah.
Right up to when you're going to do your edge.
Yeah, so when you do the edge, all around the edge, it's all ordinary crochet through both loops, but the entire block itself is worked through the back loop, which gives you these nice lines. So it gives you some nice texture to your block. All right, so I hope you really enjoy. All right.
And we'll see you next time shortly to show you how to put it all together.
Yes.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to block 12, Twister, doing it the left-handed way. So this is our last block, so congratulations for getting this far. So let's get started. So you have a choice of either chaining 41, turning your work and doing a single crochet in each chain, or you can do a single crochet foundation row, making sure that you've got 40 stitches. All right, and that's what I've done. I've done the foundation row. Okay, so let's get started. So then we're going to make our way to row 3, and what it tells us to do is to chain 4. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to miss our first stitch, and we're going to start our triangle stitch. So we're going to go wind your yarn round your crochet hook twice, and we're going to find the second stitch. If you have trouble with that, it's nice and easy. Just count your chains down. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to miss this stitch here, and we're going into this one here, and we're only going into the back loop. So we're just going to pop our hook through there. We're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull through 2. Then we're going to do a yarn over. We're going into the stitch beside that, just into the back loop only. Yarn over, pull through 2, and do that one more time. Yarn over, into the back of the stitch, pull through 2, and you should have 5 loops on your hook. We're going to go yarn over, and we're going to pull through the first 4. Oops. A little bit tricky in there. First 4, yarn over, and then pull through 2. So from here we're going to make our puff stitch. So you can see here we've got our triangle, and the puff stitch is going to go between the very first stitch of your triangle and your chain 4, right in that gap there. All right. Now, if you're a tight crocheter like me, a little trick is just open up that hook loop a little bit that's on your hook. Hold with your middle finger just that yarn there. Yarn over. Just keep everything nice and loose. Lots of yarn. Make sure we're going into that big hole there, and pull through and pull up. We're going to do that 3 times. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over and pull through all your stitches. And that's your first twist stitch completed. Now we're going to go to the second one. So we're going to go yarn over twice. Now each stitch finishes and starts in the same stitch. So where you've got that last stitch that you went through the back loop there, that's where we're going, into this one here where that last stitch was. Yarn in, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over. Then we're going into the next stitch through the back loop only. Pull it up, yarn over, pull through. Then we're going to do a yarn over and into the next one. Pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going to do a yarn over and we're going to pull through all 4. And then yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now what we need to do is our puff stitch. So because I'm tight, I just lift that stitch up a bit. I hold the yarn at the back, yarn over, into the gap now. So now we're going into this hole here between your last stitch and your first stitch. There's a lovely hole there. So yarn over, nice and loose, under, pull through that and up. 1, 2, 3, yarn over and pull through all of those. There's our second stitch made. Yarn over twice, back into the back loop of the one that we finished in the last stitch. So you've got 2 stitches there, so yarn in, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over into the next stitch, down and pull through 2. Yarn over into that third one there, yarn over, pull through 2. We've got 5 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 4. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. Up a bit, holding that back yarn. Now we're going to do our puff stitch. I'll just get a little bit more yarn. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over and pull through. Okay, I'll show you one more time and then we'll speed it up. Yarn over twice. We're going back into this stitch here where we finished the last triangle to begin our next triangle. And pull through 2. Yarn over into the next stitch, into the back of it only. Pull through 2. Yarn over to the back of the stitch. Pull through 2. 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 4. Yarn over, pull through 2. And now it's time to make our puff stitch. So we're going into this gap here. So, and that's between the last stitch of the triangle that you've completed and the first stitch of the triangle that you're doing now. So we don't get tight puffs. You need nice loose ones. So yarn over, and 1, pull it up, 2, 3, and pull through. All right, so I'll get to the end of that round and I'll meet you at the other end. And 3. So this is the end of our row. And this is what it will look like. And if any of you are clever, you'll realise that I've made a mistake. And I've left it there deliberately because these are the places that people make mistakes. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So the first one is that if you get to the end and you don't have your 19 stitches, it is probably because you've missed one of your ends and beginnings in the same stitch. Okay, so after your chain 4, remember to skip that first stitch. It's the only time you skip a stitch in a row. You'll do your 3 and then you begin your second one here. Okay, if you come along here and you go, that looks a little bit funny, as you can see here is that I've missed a puff stitch, and then you'll know that you'll need to go back to fix that up. look down a little bit. So you'll see that you'll need to come back, even though Tony's done her single crochet across the top. But you'll look at it and you'll go, something's not quite right. But they're the 3 target places that people making errors, providing that your initial starting point is that you've got 40 single crochets. So it's missing that very first chain right at the beginning of your chain 4 when you're starting, and that you finish this triangle and start this triangle in the back of the same stitch all the way through. All right, so now we're going to go round and we're going to do row 4. No, I'm not. Okay, so row 4, it says we're going to turn our work, make 1 chain, and work 1 single crochet in the back loop on the treble below. So that's right down. So here's our treble here, and there's our stitch. So we're just going to do a single crochet in there. And we're going to, you'll see that that will help you, guide you where you need to go. Easy to get caught up into your puff stitch, but only into the back stitch of each stitch all the way along. And you're going to do a single crochet. Here's your back stitch. Very easy to pick up your puff stitch underneath. Slip that one off, back through. And you can check it through the top to make sure that it's coming into the V and not into the loop. And do that all the way across. Okay, so that's the end of round 2, and I've done my single crochet all the way across the top. And so this pattern is just basically repeating row 3 and row 4. So I'll take you through the beginning of row 3 again, and then you should be right to go. So you turn your work, and we're going to do 4 chain. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to miss your first stitch and go into your second stitch. So we can count those. So we've got our 4 chain, there's our stitch, and so we've got to go into the second stitch. So it's yarn around twice, into the second stitch, through the back loop, and then into the next stitch, yarn down, through, up, pull through 2, third one, yarn down, pull through 2, then we're going to pull, should have 5 loops on your needle, pull through the first 4, yarn over, pull through 2. Loosen it up a bit, getting ready to do our puff stitches, which is going to be between our chain stitch and our first triangle. That's 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through, yarn over twice. We're going back into the back of the stitch of the stitch that you finished on the last triangle. So there's 2 stitches in there. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 4, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and then we do our puff stitch again. Okay, you'll do that to the end, and then you'll turn your work. We'll do a chain 1, and there it's starting to come. And then you'll do a single crochet in the back loop of the trebles below. And that's what it will look like. You'll start to see, and that chaining through the back loop is what gives you the lovely look at the front. So there you go. So when you've done completed all your rows right through to row 22, I think it is. Row 20, sorry, 21, then you're going to chain 1 and work 3 single crochets in your corner, and then you'll work your 39 single crochets evenly around to the next corner as you've done on most of the other blocks. So good luck.